Right now on News 3, we're in for the long haul as the bitter cold sticks around for the weekend and beyond, with a chance for even bigger piles of snow coming our way.
And new developments in the Jamie Kloss case. Douglas County prosecutors deciding to not press any more charges against her accused captor.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. It is a great idea if you can stay inside this weekend.
Wind chills have been below zero since yesterday, and they will stay that way until Monday. Once again, we have team coverage. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the backyard patio. Adam Duxter talking with doctors today about what you need to know before you go out into this cold weather.
Let's go to Gary first with our first alert forecast. Gary?
Well, it is cold out here, but I guess I'm supposed to say something like it's a dry cold, right? It's not, like we say in the summer with heat. No, it is bone-chilling cold out here. There's not much of a breeze. That's probably not the best thing I could say, at least for right now, but that will change. We have alert days in the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday, for the potential for a major winter storm that could bring 5 to 10 inches, maybe even a little bit more of snow across southern Wisconsin with blowing and drifting snow. And then dangerously cold weather for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Temperatures go below zero. They don't even come up above zero during the day. So wind chills during the warmest part of the day could be as cold as 25 below zero. But early in the morning, when temperatures are at their lowest, we could see low temperatures down to about 20 to 25 below zero, and wind chills perhaps as cold as 55 below zero. That could freeze exposed skin in less than 5 minutes. On Doppler track, a weather system passed to our south. Brought us just a couple of flurries today, but brought an inch or two of snow across Iowa and Illinois. Right now, skies are actually clear. High temperatures today were right around zero, give or take a degree or two. But take a look where we are now. We've dropped 5 degrees in the last hour. We're now at our low temperature for the day of 14 below zero. Lone Rock is down to 20 below zero. So with those lighter winds, we're not seeing as much as, in the wind chills. You can see many locations reporting the air being calm, but any place that has a little bit of a breeze, those wind chills drop into the mid-20s below zero, and that could be the case overnight in some spots. So by tomorrow morning, I'm thinking temperatures at least as cold as they are now, maybe even a little bit colder. Might have to revise that low temperature down. Tomorrow's high temperature at 8. We'll see a little more cloud cover, maybe a couple of flurries during the day. But again, it will be bitterly cold this weekend. A heavy snowstorm on Monday, followed by dangerously cold weather for the middle of next week. I'll have more details and weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary goes out there by his own choice, by the way. I want to point that out. As we brace for wind chills well below zero, doctors are warning people about the signs of hypothermia and frostbite.
News 3's Adam Duxter joins us with how the bitter cold can become deadly more quickly than you may think. Adam?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, there's cold, and then there's freezing, and then there's what we're going to see over the next couple of days. Extremely cold temperatures that ER doctors say could be life-changing in just a matter of minutes.
It can be minutes. It can be very, very fast.
Emergency room doctor Amanda Jackson knows a thing or two about how the cold can have negative impacts on the body. Dr. Jackson says at this time of year, it's common to see hypothermia and even frostbite at the ER.
Particularly now with the wind chill dropping, there's another factor making it even colder.
But as the weather continues to drop, Jackson says these visits can become even more common and says now more than ever, it's important to know the warning signs for frostbite.
You'll first notice like a tingling sensation and then more of like a throbbing type pain. If you start to feel that means it's too long and you need to get inside right away.
But this incredibly cold weather can cause more than just hypothermia and frostbite. Each year, Dr. Jackson says she sees an uptick in heart attacks caused by something as simple as shoveling snow.
Being in the cold, that makes your heart work harder and your lungs work harder, and every part of your body is overworking because it's dealing with finding a way to keep you warm.
Most of us will still want to get outside and enjoy the outdoors this winter. In that case, Dr. Jackson says it's important to cover up, especially your face, fingers, and toes. But she says ultimately, if you can avoid it, don't go outside at all.
It's too cold to be outside in these conditions and with the wind chill.
Now, Dr. Jackson says there's 4 stages of frostbite. The first 2 are tingling and discoloration. The third and fourth, blisters, and then loss of function. She says if you find yourself in the beginning stages, not to put your hands under hot water, but to simply warm up the cold parts of your body over the course of about a half hour.
All right, Adam, thank you. As temperatures continue to drop, several agencies are making some special accommodations. Shelters are extending hours and providing transportation in between day and night shelters.
They're also making sure that no one is denied service. Police and city officials We'll also be on high alert looking for people out in the cold, and they encourage you to do what you can as well.
Now it's even more vitally important that we check on our neighbors and check with people and see, you know, what can I do to help? Are you okay? Do you need some warmth? Or can I run to the grocery store for you? Anything like that. You know, this is a caring community, and I know people really come through.
Madison's libraries are a free public space if you're trying to escape the elements this weekend. Here are some of those places people can go to get out of the cold. The Beacon on East Wash opens at 7:30 a.m. during cold weather and closes at 5 p.m. Starting tomorrow, Porch Light will begin taking people in the men's shelter starting at 5 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. The Salvation Army will begin intake for women and families beginning at 4 o'clock.
Madison Metro also offering warming buses this weekend at its 4 transfer points, giving people the opportunity to stay out of the cold. City officials say they are considering extending these services into next week as well. More than 50 school districts canceled or delayed classes today because of this cold weather. When it comes to making that decision, it ultimately comes down to safety. Years ago, administrators decided to use wind chill readings of -35 as their cutoff point. So once it gets to that temperature, there's no debate. No debate until the Madison Metropolitan School District changed its guideline to cancel classes at wind chills of -25 last year after finding more parents keeping their students home on these extremely cold days.
Tends to be sort of a pack mentality. If one school district calls off, many of the other ones do as well. Madison sort of does their own thing. I wouldn't want to speak for them, but I think for the surrounding ones, because we're more similar. Us, Verona, Sun Prairie, Wanakee. I mean, we're suburban, but at the same time, we all have rural routes.
When class is scheduled for a cold day like this, administrators say they try to call off school by 9 o'clock the night before. That's in order to give parents enough time to make arrangements for their children.
First responders had to rescue a dog that fell into an icy river in Mequon, north of Milwaukee. This happened yesterday. The 6-year-old Siberian Husky named Odin got loose from his yard and fell into the Wisconsin River. He was in for about 10 minutes until a firefighter equipped with ice rescue equipment crawled out to the water and pulled Odin out by the collar. The man accused of kidnapping Jamie Kloss apparently won't face any additional charges in Douglas County. The district attorney says he has no plans to file charges against Jake Patterson in the immediate future, but says that decision could change. The 21-year-old Patterson is charged in Barron County with kidnapping 13-year-old Jamie in October and killing her parents.
Cash bond set at $500,000 for the man accused of shooting and killing a 41-year-old in Janesville earlier this week. 39-year-old Lucas Sturr facing a charge for first-degree intentional homicide in connection to the shooting death of Clifford Grice. A criminal complaint released today alleges that Sturr shot Grice in a car outside his home on Kellogg Avenue in Janesville after an argument about a girlfriend. Police arrested him Wednesday night near Broadhead after a nearly 20-mile pursuit that reached speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. A woman's death in the Milwaukee area being investigated as a possible homicide after she was found frozen to the ground and pinned under a vehicle early this morning. And tonight, police say they have a suspect in custody. This happened in Wauwatosa in a freighter hospital parking ramp. The woman did have a weak pulse and was unconscious when first responders found her. Firefighters were able to free her, but she died less than an hour later.
The Dodge County Sheriff's Department is looking for a work release inmate who didn't return to jail. Paul DeGangi Jr. has active arrest warrants and is serving a 360-day sentence at the Dodge County Jail for domestic abuse related to intimidation of a victim. If you have information on where he may be, call the Dodge County Sheriff's Department. The Columbia Correctional Institution is now in its second week of being on lockdown, and families are growing increasingly concerned. Families have sent us emails from their sons in prison describing the conditions like bologna sandwiches with slimy cheese and a few showers. Inmates say no one will tell them why they're on lockdown for so long, but say they've heard what the cause might be.
Some of the inmates were getting cell phones snuck into the institution.
And they had found some materials that shouldn't be there, which threatens everyone's safety, including the community and the inmates.
No one has been able to give us a definitive answer as to when the shutdown will end.
Some good news tonight. Portillo's says it'll be opening its Madison location on March 4th. The company announced last April it was coming to Madison. Construction on its location at Easttown started in July. The Chicago-born chain is known for its hot dogs, Italian beef sandwiches, and chocolate cake. The Madison location says it will also be serving a Wisconsin exclusive, the Badger Brats. And still ahead tonight at 10, your full weekend forecast, including a chance for more accumulating snow by early next week.
But first, the government is officially back open, at least for now. Why it could go back to square one next month. Stay with us. Welcome back. President Trump's personal friend Roger Stone went on primetime TV Friday night to assert his innocence after he was indicted on several counts in connection to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation.
I will not fold. I will not bend. I will not bear false witness against the president. I believe in God. I know what I have and have not done.
FBI agents took Stone into custody early this morning at his Fort Lauderdale, Florida home. He was later released on bond, and he will be arraigned Tuesday in Washington. Charging documents allege a senior Trump campaign official was directed to contact Stone regarding damaging information WikiLeaks may have had on the Clinton campaign. They also allege he lied to the House Intelligence Committee and that he tried to pressure another witness into lying.
Meanwhile, the president and Congress reached a deal today to end the partial government shutdown at least until the middle of next month.
The plan provides a window for border security negotiations while allowing thousands of federal workers to get paid for the first time in over a month. Natalie Brand has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers quickly moved to reopen the federal government hours after President Trump announced a temporary break in the more than month-long impasse.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government.
The stalemate eased on day 35 of the partial shutdown as more than 800,000 federal employees missed their second paycheck. Commercial air traffic snarled, and many other side effects of the longest shutdown continued piling up. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi signed the bill.
Kind of a solemn occasion for us because so many people have suffered so long.
And late Friday, the president signed the measure.
But Friday's short-term deal does not include money for the president's border wall, so we could be back to the same place next month.
We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again,
or the president said he could use emergency powers to fund the wall, bypassing Congress.
Trump even today, just a few minutes ago, announced that he is prepared to shut down the government again unless he gets his way.
We all help each other out, and it's been absolutely amazing to be able to help each other out, but I get to go back to work on Monday. I can't wait.
The agreement means this Coast Guard employee and thousands of other federal workers should begin to receive paychecks again soon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Late tonight, President Trump tweeted that he in no way made a concession and that if there's no deal in 21 days, it's, quote, off to the races.
Well, if you're traveling by air anytime soon, you might still feel the pain of the government shutdown. Well, President Trump announced that deal to reopen the government today. Air traffic controllers and security agents missed a second paycheck today. Travel delays occurred because of an increase in sick calls at 2 East Coast air traffic control centers. Things got so backed up at New York's LaGuardia Airport, there was eventually a ground stop. That means the airport was temporarily closed to all incoming flights. The delays sent ripple effects all the way to Madison. Some flights out of Dane County Regional to LaGuardia, Chicago O'Hare, Atlanta, Orlando, Philly, and Newark were impacted. Delayed travelers expressed frustration.
Well, the people should not be suffering for this. And I'm not talking about myself even on a plane. I'm talking about these people that can't feed their kids.
A Dane County Regional Airport spokesperson says there are no staffing shortages locally.
And if you are going to take a flight sometime soon, maybe somewhere warm would be the best option because the cold is not budging here. Think warm thoughts, folks. It was in the...
You torture people with these shots, right?
No, this is all mind over matter. It was in the mid-60s today here.
That's
in
a
Fort
live look
Lauderdale.
in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh, isn't that nice? Just even if it's just for a second.
It's in the 60s. It'd be great.
You know, we should send Gary there with some Portillos.
That's about 120 degrees warmer. What? Then we're going to feel like midweek next week with the wind chills, right, Gary?
You know, actually, you could send me to Alaska. It's been warmer there. Fairbanks is in the 20s today. Usually when Alaska gets warm, that dislodges the cold air, sends it south, and we end up in the icebox. And that's exactly where we are now. With a winter storm on the way from Monday, we have an alert day for that for 5 to 10 inches of snow. Could be a little bit more in some spots, and there'll be some blowing and drifting of a fluffy light snow. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, dangerously cold weather with overnight low temperatures from 20 to 25 below. Daytime high temperatures staying below zero for an extended period of time of several days. Wind chills early in the morning, perhaps as cold as 50 to 55 below zero. Daytime wind chills in the mid-20s below zero. No snow falling tonight. It's been pretty quiet out there on Doppler track. Some snow passed to our south today. That's moving off to the east. The next weather system, still a couple of days out. Look at the current temperatures. We dropped to 14 below zero here in Madison. Rhinelander already down to 22 below zero. So you can see the center of that cold air mass is right across Wisconsin and eastern Minnesota. Winds at least are generally pretty light. High pressure is located just out to the west of us. But anytime you have any kind of a breeze, notice Green Bay, for example, 6-mile-an-hour wind, and boom, their wind chill drops to 22 below zero compared to our 14 below because we don't have a breeze here. So it doesn't take any kind of a wind at all just to get those wind chills to drop pretty quickly. Future track wind chills by tomorrow morning should be somewhere in the teens to 20s below zero, at least in parts of the Midwest. Then look for temperatures during the day tomorrow, those wind chills to stay in the single digits below zero in the day. Tomorrow night, they drop back into the teens below zero. And then on Sunday, look for those wind chills to be in the single digits below zero. Following that, then we have that winter storm from Monday. GFS computer model from the U.S. government calling for nearly a foot of snow in Madison, the heaviest axis of snow near or just to the north of Madison. The European computer model near or just to the south of Madison with about a foot of snow near the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. So somewhere in that vicinity is where the heaviest snow is going to fall. So we're thinking at least 5 to 10 inches through much of southern Wisconsin. Future track wind chills then, this is beginning at 6:30 on Tuesday morning. Mid-20s below zero by Wednesday morning. Take a look at these wind chills approaching 50 below zero here. And on Thursday morning, those wind chills still around 40 below zero in spots. And then even into Friday morning. Those wind chills will gradually, by Friday afternoon, getting into the single digits, still below zero, but at least not as bitterly cold or dangerously cold as it was the days before. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Skies are mainly clear, but it is cold out there. We're now at our low temperature for the day of 14 below zero after hitting a high of 1 above. Last night we only dropped to 10 below. Right now 14 below, at least no wind, so no wind chill to speak of. Low temperatures this morning, 30s below zero in the northern portion of Minnesota. Around here, again, we were about 10 below zero, but we've exceeded that already. The snow moving off to the east to our south. Right now, clear skies through much of the upper Midwest, and notice this low pressure system zipping off to the east, being replaced by high pressure. That is bringing in the center of that cold air mass. These are current temperatures, teens, 20s, and 30s below zero. Wind chills right now, International Falls approaching 50 degrees below zero with the wind chill. And as we look at future track, you can see that clearing across the area for tonight. Now tomorrow, a little bit of cloud cover could result in a couple of flurries. For Sunday, quiet weather, and then here comes our winter storm, actually from the northwest. And notice that snow overspreading Wisconsin, running through the day on Monday and then ending on Monday night. So our forecast calls for a low temperature now of 18 below zero. Wind chills perhaps as cold as 25 below zero in spots if there's any kind of a breeze. Tomorrow's high temperature at 8. Could see a couple of flurries during the afternoon. As we look at future track, those temperatures just nosediving to near 20 below zero by early tomorrow morning. High temperatures tomorrow, single digits above zero, maybe a couple of flurries, back down below zero for tomorrow night. And then on Sunday, look at those temperatures in the single digits with snow moving in from the west. And again, about 5 to 10 inches or more of snow. This is from Monday through early Tuesday. 7 to 10 day forecast. Dangerously cold for the middle of next week. Temperatures below zero by day, near 20 to 25 below at night with wind chills to 50 below zero. By the end of the week, temperatures start to moderate closer to normal. But guess what? There's another chance of snow from Super Bowl Sunday into Monday of the following week. So again, we just can't catch a break in this forecast.
Well, Gary, you mentioned Alaska. I actually looked it up today. It was 2 degrees below zero in Juneau, Wisconsin, and 43 degrees in Juneau, Alaska. So 45 degrees warmer in Alaska.
At least Juneau, Alaska is closer to the ocean, so they can get a little bit of a breeze there off of the
it was warm
up
up for sure. All right. Thank you, Gary.
Sure.
Men's hockey team aiming to win the border battle tonight in Minneapolis. We'll have the highlights next in sports.
All right, let's be real. It hasn't really been the best season year for the border battle, whether it's the Packers-Vikings, battle for the Axe, or men's basketball season. But the men's hockey team hoping to change that trend in Minneapolis tonight. Badgers down 3-0 to start, though, in the second period. McMester sends a puck up to Jared Zerbo. Back to Messner right up in front. Wisconsin finally on the board, but down 3-1. Badgers continue to battle back in the third period. Keandre Miller feeds the puck to Jack Gorniak, the freshman from West Salem, cutting the deficit to 1. But, wow, Gophers coming back with a vengeance after that. A massacre in Minneapolis tonight. 9-4 the final. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7. The top-ranked women hosting St. Cloud State at LeBon Arena. A few minutes into the first period, Alexis Mauerman lights the lamp. Badgers up first, 1-0. 3 minutes later, Annie Pankowski, the senior, to Sophia Shaver for the quick goal. 2-0 Wisconsin now. That, by the way, is Pankowski's 100th career assist. To the second period now, 15 seconds to go in the period. Mackenzie Steffen hitting the back of the net for her 4th goal of the season. Wisconsin beats St. Cloud State 5-0. Puck drops tomorrow at 6 p.m. Frank Kaminsky and the Hornets at Fiserv tonight. Frank, however, did not see any action in tonight's game. Sorry. We pick it up in the fourth quarter. Bucks down 1, but oh my, Malcolm Brogdon, coast to coast. Wow. Bucks back in the lead, 19 points, 5 rebounds for Brogdon tonight. Later, Giannis Antetokounmpo with the ball. Thinks about it. The driving dunk. Game high, 34 points, 14 rebounds. Frankie liked that one. For the Greek Freak, Bucks hang on to win 108-99 to win their 6th straight game. They're at Oklahoma City on Sunday. The men's basketball team continuing to work through the Big Ten slate, hosting Northwestern tomorrow afternoon at 1:15. And really hard not to be cautiously optimistic as this squad continues to progress. They're now 5-3 in the Big Ten, and players not named Ethan Happ really starting to contribute, like Nate Reavers. And head coach Greg Gard only sees an upward trend for the sophomore from here on out.
That's a potential he has. I mean, he's a pretty complete player, and as he gets more confidence and gets stronger as he goes through his career, he did a good job. I mean, he's skilled. He's got a toughness to him. Obviously stepped up, made free throws, made big shots, so we needed it.
Border battle tonight on the mat as well as the Badgers take on the Gophers. We start at 141 pounds. Third period, Wisconsin's Tristan Moran with the roll and the 6-point move to send the match into overtime. Then 16th-ranked Moran puts 12th-ranked Mitch McKee on his back again. He gets the pin. Badgers down 12-6. He is so jacked up and happy. To 165, Wisconsin's Evan Wick with the takedown. He takes the major decision, 8-0. The Badgers down by 5. At 184, Mason Reinhardt with the third period takedown. He gets the 4-0 win. Wisconsin trailing by 7, but the 14th-ranked Badgers falling to 7th-ranked Minnesota, 27-13. We'll be right back.
Here you go, weather in 3 graphics. Current temperatures, 14 below 0 right now. Snow on the way from Monday, 5 to 10 inches or more. And then bitterly cold wind chills by Wednesday morning down to around 50 below 0. That's all you need to know.
It's going to be full of good news, Kevin, let me tell you. Stay warm this weekend, folks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 10.
Do something good.